Imagine if every time you flew your drone, it broadcast a digital signal, not just showing where your drone is, but even where you're standing as the pilot. Well, that's remote ID, and from 2026 here in the UK, so just a matter of days from this video going live, it becomes law. It takes a couple of years to reach everyone's drones, but eventually will include every drone from just 100 grams that has a camera. Now, you've probably seen a lot of debate about whether remote ID is a good idea or not in general. Lots of people screaming at you from the little screen on your phone, ranting about how much they hate the idea. Hey, I've done it myself. But in this video, we're not here to argue the ethics or principles behind the concept. Instead, we're here to explain the facts, what remote ID actually is in the form that we're getting it rather than what it might become, etc., how it will impact your drone, and exactly what the rules mean for you as a UK drone pilot. Because beyond the debate, remote ID is happening. It's already in law, and you need to know how to comply. Then, as ever, make your own choices. Because remote ID phases in over a couple of years, this video is intended as a reference point for you to be able to return to in the future. So you'll find chapters below to help you get the info that you need and get there quickly. So first up, what is remote ID? Put very simply, it is a signal that your drone puts out via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi when it is in flight. That signal contains a bunch of information that will identify your drone to anyone with the right app and to authorities that also have access to deeper information. This type of direct remote ID means that the signal is simple and they're unfortunately not able to limit who sees what. Although, as we explain later in this video, you do need an app or specialist tech to listen for signals. In the main, most members of the public will need to be pretty close to you to be able to see your drone flight. The information that is periodically transmitted from your drone includes UAS registration number, so this is the operator ID you currently display on the drone, the unique serial number of the drone being flown, a timestamp which includes the geographical position of the drone and its height above the surface or takeoff point. The route course will be shown. There will also be an indication of any emergency status being indicated by the drone. Interestingly, that actually includes low battery warning. To get your unique remote ID number issued to you from the UK CAA, you need to visit your registration page within the CAA website. The remote ID number is unique to you and it's made up of the following parts. Firstly, the country identifier. This will obviously be the same for everyone watching this. The public part of your RID number, this is the bit that gets broadcast to everyone, the checksum, and then the private key. This is the bit that stops someone else from simply writing down your RID number and using it themselves. The two won't match up when it's checked. This should be treated like a PIN number for your bank cards and not shared with anyone at all. If you ever think that your PIN to your RID has been compromised, you should contact the CAA and they will arrange a new one for you. In terms of how you as a drone pilot use the remote ID number, you will input this into your drone app the first time it updates to comply with the changes in January, or when you buy a new drone that has remote ID as standard. Next, let's talk about the timeline for everyone's drones to comply with the law. From January 2026, only UK label drones will be required to have active remote ID. In fact, UK 1, 2 and 3 labels. As of today, there are no drones in the UK or on the market that will require remote ID from that January position. That is because those labels will only be on new drone models that are released from January 2026 onwards. Manufacturers will provide updates to allow current C label drones to become UK labels, but that isn't required until 2028. And if you do not need remote ID on non-UK label drones until then, my recommendation is to not update your drone to become UK labeled until you absolutely have to, unless you need or want remote ID for some specific reason. We have a separate video explaining UK drone labels. Go watch that for more on that specific topic. It's all part of our 2026 drone rules playlist. The single biggest trigger point for UK remote ID is actually 2028, at which point UK labels will be the only label recognised in terms of the extra flight benefits that they bring, with C labels pretty much going away. But from 2028, you will also need remote ID for all self-build drones, any legacy drones, and even UK label 0 drones if they're over 100 grams with a camera. Now, this is the point that we're keeping to the facts and not starting a random rant, although it's pretty tough to actually not rant about this. But yeah. So if you're able to avoid updating your C-label drone until January 2028 or December 27, you will get all the benefits of having that drone with all of the C-label benefits, but without the requirement to transmit remote ID. Next, who can see what and how? This one is pretty simple to answer. For someone to read all of this information, they will need to use a specific app or use specialist tech to listen to remote ID signals. For instance, for a member of the public to view this data, they will need an app and they will need to be within Bluetooth or Wi-Fi range of your drone. The data is then interpreted by the app and displayed for the user to see. So they will be able to see your ID details, where your drone has flown and where you are stood. Now, only authorized bodies, so police, etc., will be able to immediately access the data in terms of your actual personal details. So in terms of the public, that is the end of their access as such. They only get numbers and registrations, etc. There is another level of surveillance of drone remote ID information that most authorities never seem to mention. That is the use of specialized tech, such as the little device from DroneTag and also their Scout product. This provides the ability to scan several miles around the position and see the active remote ID signals. We've been using the DroneTag Rider system for quite a while now, and it is pretty effective and works over a pretty long range. It's going to be really interesting in January to see if my phone app, which can actually, with this specialized piece of equipment, can actually go across several miles, whether or not that starts lighting up. Products like UAS Sentry in the US have been developed for a few years now and have entire networks covering large areas and cities where everyone's flight data is recorded and logged. The tech is fairly expensive and requires some work to keep running, so it's highly unlikely that many people outside of specialist industry and law enforcement will have this kind of access. But it's something that you really should know when you're out flying your drone. Keep in mind that for law enforcement and security services, if you're flying popular brands like DJI and others, then most of this data was already visible on counter drone tech. We have a special video coming up on that topic, looking at how UK police find drones in restricted airspace, etc. So if you're new and want to hear when that drops, do hit the subscribe button. Next, we're going to talk about your drone and how you ensure it complies. Because the US has had remote ID for some time now, as well as other regions of the world, drone manufacturers have prepared for this and they've pretty much got everything ready. Most of the DJI models that you are flying today have the capability to transmit the data already, and they just need an update to activate the settings. This should only happen with UK label drones, so again, perhaps do not accept the new label until you absolutely have to. If you're flying a drone that does not have remote ID built in, then you're able to use a module. There are a few modules on the market, although I would expect there to be more. What is next? Well, this wasn't the remote ID system the DFT wanted. They would like to see hybrid remote ID in place. That means every flight that you take would be uploaded and recorded on a central system. The reason we are left with direct remote ID at the moment is a lack of interest from government to fund hybrid remote ID, and the fact that direct RID was already in law and they decided to implement what they had, as it were. We also have a remote ID deep dive coming up on the channel, looking at the politics and the debate behind the topic. That video has information directly from the DFT, CAA and Home Office, so it'll be well worth a look if you want to deep dive into this kind of topic. But today, with this video, you at least have the basics in terms of the facts you need to know about complying with remote ID in the UK from 2026. Sean out.